You ready to go to the dog park? Good girl. Taking the dog for a walk, golfing, bird watching. If I'm outside, I'm happy. But when I was probably 45, I started noticing pain in my left hip. A good friend of mine is a physical therapist that works for Allina, and he noticed me limping around, and he said, you should go see a doctor, Dr. Heller. I am Andy Goldman-Gray, and I got a total hip replacement at Allina Health Orthopedics. They put me in front of the x-ray machine.
So you can see why it hurts. Obviously, he's bone on bone in through here. He could see, actually, why the pain was there.
I had no cartilage, I had no joint space left. So they said, at that point, you need a hip replacement. My wife got me to the hospital at 7 a.m. and I was out for 4 hours, and then at 4 o'clock they were like, all right, you ready to go home?
It's called the same-day total joint replacement program. Here at United Hospital, where a patient can come in, have their joint replaced, and be able to go home just a few short hours later with all the tools they need to be successful.
Dr. Heller does a hybrid surgery that's super cool, and they don't have to cut any muscles or ligaments.
I have 2 small incisions. I have 2 inches in the front of the hip and 1.25 inches in the back. And I put the same device in. And I do that without cutting any muscle. And that makes a big difference. There aren't any restrictions. There's a lot less pain afterwards. And the mobility is much, much better right away. These things all lend to the same-day program.
I was in the post-op for probably 2 hours, and then I had to go to the PT office where they made sure I could get in and out of a car, up and down 3 stairs, and sit down in a chair and lay down in a bed.
So we want to encourage them, as they're recovering from their surgery, to use that movement as medicine. And we teach them everything they're going to need to be safe at home that night. And they have access to a nurse navigator for any questions or concerns that they have.
It's an open line that they can call 24/7.
Clover, come here. Oh, good girl. What surprised me most was just the recovery time was so much shorter than I expected. It took about probably 2 weeks to get back to where I would say I was normal-ish. Just getting back to the things that I love to do, especially outdoors, when that pain is lifted, you're like, oh, it's a whole new day. I was happy again.